Well, welcome everybody. We have a special guest today, all the way from the Netherlands. I'm very excited to hear about his story. I see him a lot in the comments under my videos and under other carnivore friends, and always with very interesting remarks. I think he has a lot of knowledge. And I think you are about 2 years carnivore, and I'm very interested in why you started and all these things. So, yeah, let's hear. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Emil, 49 years old, live in Netherlands, just like Peter, and I'm almost 2 years carnivore. December, so in 1 month, October, November, I'm 2 years carnivore. So,
congratulations.
And then, thank you. I started carnivore because I was always sick. From when I was little, as a kid, I was always sick. So as long as I knew I had headaches, other problems, as somebody was coughing, then I would get it also. I was always sick. So someone in my class sick, I was also sick. Headache was in that kind. Normally, every day I had some headache, not constantly, but some feeling like I don't feel good, but I could handle it. But 3 or 4 days in the week, it was a bit too much, but not too much that I couldn't go to school, and I was used to it. So I always went to school. So as somebody stayed at home for a headache, I was always like, why? I found it strange because you can still do everything. Only as I get extreme, then I couldn't do anything. All lights must be out, everything must be quiet, and else then it was extreme. But that was a lot when I was younger, and the older I got, the less it was. And also, I could not fake that I had headache. It was also never faking, but then it would be worse. It was always a problem as a kid. And then always to hospitals, brain scans. They tried several medication, stayed in a hospital for a week. They tested me. Never solved it.
And what did the doctors tell you? They tell you that it's imaginary, or is it stress and that sort of thing? So
you're 1 in a million.
No. When I was little, they didn't tell me anything. So I got medication. I have also autism. So when I was little, my behavior was very good. I saw the school principal more than my teacher. So I was a nice guy. I could not concentrate. I was not interested in school. It was, for me, always stress. And then with my headaches, it made it worse. And it was, then I got medication when I was 11 or 12. And they told me it's for my iron. My iron was too low. And then they go with, the white by your nails and that kind of stuff. That's because you need iron. And I was looking at my brother, I had the same, but no, his iron was good. And then I got medication, and that medication made me feel if I was locked up in my brain. It's very strange. I could not do what I normally could do. And then I threw out the medication in the class. And my mother heard from that and said, yeah, we stop with that. And then I never got any medication again. But that was probably for my autism. But they also never told me that I had autism. I found out when I was 32. They told me.
Wow. What age are you now?
49.
49. Wow. So you're looking at 17 years. Okay.
Yeah. And it's because I got problems. For me was each time problems. And then my mother told me, go and test you. Let them test you. and then they come. I tested. You have autism, and my mother. Yeah, we knew. We had when you were little. We had to go to a thing so we could. The doctor told us, and they instructed us. They got a lesson from 1 or 2 hours, and that was it. How to handle with me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And my grandmother was like, "You don't tell anybody that he has it." It was bad, It was negative. Well, a brother of my granddad had it also, only way worse. The classic autism. So he was living in a house where they take care of him.
Oh, that sounds quite severe then, right?
Yeah. I had always the comic books, and I took them with me to my grandparents. And when he was there, he was looking at the images. He could not read. He could only look at the images. So he liked that. And that's, yeah.
And what was the diagnosis when you were diagnosed with autism like 17 years ago? Like what were the doctors saying?
That I had Asperger. So I have autism. Okay. Yeah, Asperger. But then I had later somebody told me, no, you have PDD-NOS or something. Another kind. I don't know anymore. But but the problem is, because I was older, it was very hard to tell what kind of autism I had. But I knew that I had it because my mother told me when I told it, yes, you have it because we know it. So it was not something that was like...
It's more on the surface with children, I imagine, right? Young children, especially up to the age of 10, 11, I guess. Then you start to adapt yourself and hide a bit the autistic features.
I worked with children when I was younger, and I could see it. So I could pick them out. That one has autism, that has autism. I could pick them out.
Because you have it yourself, you think? Or,
yeah, but I didn't know that I had it, but I recognized it. So I knew that kid has autism, they told me. And the others were like that also. Complete different autism, but I could still pick them out. And later I know, because I have it also myself, so I recognized it.
And what was the first moment, because you know it for 17 years that you have autism, and what was the first moment that you started to dive into alternative solutions other than medicine, things like diet and that sort of things?
Well, we had an alternative thing. I went to the hospital. I had the doctor, and then I had the homeopath. We had the doctor, and he was, when you were sick, have a cold, put an onion on your bed. He never gave medication. And then 7 years ago, I was like, I stopped going to the doctor when I was 26. I didn't go anymore. I was like, it's not working. They cannot do anything, so I stopped. And then almost 7 years ago, I was like, people told me, yeah, with food you can cure things and that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I was like, I want to know a bit about that. And then I start reading, and then I got on the complete wrong direction, vegans. So I started to follow two YouTubers on two vegan YouTubers. And for what I know, they already quit with vegan diet, so it was a great success for them too. And then I started to read the science. And then I found out that first I was like, oh, that's logic. Yeah. That's okay, that's that and that's. And then I read one subject, and I was like, but that's completely different from what I heard before. And that was from keto. And I didn't know what keto was. So then I start reading it, and then I read back the other things, and then I was like, but that the other science isn't science. It's just a story that doesn't count up what they say. And then I started to look into keto, and then I found one on YouTube, and through that person, he said there was talked about carnivore, and I was like, what's carnivore? Because I was very skeptic about keto, because you can eat spinach, you can eat the broccoli, you can, and what I don't like is that. So I was like, okay, what's carnivore? Oh, only meat. And I was like, oh, I can do that. And then I started looking for carnivore online, but I couldn't find anything.
Mm.
And then almost 2 years ago, I found one, Dr. Sean Baker. And through him, I found the other ones, Ken Berry. And then I was like, okay, I try this. And I switched to carnivore. And I started with eating the meat that I liked. So chicken and pork. The only meat that I ate. For a week long. And I didn't feel what others told me. Oh, you get energy. I didn't get any energy. I get tired but my headache started to go away. So I thought something is working. I think maybe I must wait longer. So I start researching more and more and more. But in week 2 and 3, I started to eat other things again. I think, I can take 0 because there's no sugar in it. So I took Sprite, and that's the biggest mistake I did. Because 1 liter of Sprite, I think I take now a glass, and then I take later a glass. No, 1 glass, and then another glass, and then the bottle was empty.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no. In just 15 minutes, the 1 liter Sprite was gone. And then I was like, no, it's not good. Then I looked.
But it's 0 sugar, right? So 1.5 liter of 0 sugar, you should be able to drink
can I just
as well,
ask?
right?
Can I just ask a question, Emil? When you did that, when you did the carnivore, and you said that you noticed with your memory was getting a little bit better. When you added the sugar back in, did you notice your memory going back off again?
Well, my headaches came back.
Okay, but but did you notice when
my concentration was still the same.
But okay, it was the same.
Yeah,
okay.
That didn't change that much. That came later. That's very strange. Others say they noticed straight difference after the first week, and I was thought, okay, I tried 1 week, and then I see what it doesn't do anything, then I quit. But after a week, I was like, my headaches go away, and that was my goal. My headaches had to go away. And I had some other health problems, but I didn't notice my other health problems because my headaches were the main thing. And week 2 and 3, I ate Chinese, I ate other things, but not the complete week, but one day Chinese, and the other, then the next week I eat another thing for 1 or 2 days. And then I was like, no, I must do it now for 3 months. They say after 3 months, you'd see good results. So I reset it and I said, okay, now I do it straight 3 months. And I start to add beef because they said you need to eat cow's meat and that kind of stuff. So I did the pork away, replaced it by the beef, what I didn't like in the beginning. I added eggs and lowered my chicken, more butter. And then it started to go different. I started to like beef. After a month, it was like, okay, I can do this better. So it goes better and better. And after 3 months, I was like, yeah, it feels good. But after 3 months, I was like, also I was 102 kilos when I started. And I was 71 kilos when I was at 3 months.
Wow,
and 3.5 months later, I was 72. I was 3.5 months. I was 32 kilos lost in total.
Wow.
So I was 70 kilos. And then I was like, oh, that's free weight loss. That's easy. And then 2 weeks later, it's like if there went a switch, something went on in something just switched. I felt so good. My brain, everything, it was just, my autism is always the stress, always stress. So something happens and then that's for me stressed. So I sleep bad, all that kind of stuff. But that already started to go better since I was carnivore.
But do you notice those triggers are a little bit more how do I say it? They're a little bit more easier than what it was in the past. Like does things trigger you as much now, being on the carnivore lifestyle than what you did when you had sugar?
Way less.
Way less. Yeah.
Because of my autism, I was Santa Claus. Each year there was Santa Claus. I hated something was Santa Claus. For me, people that were dressed up I could not see their face. So they were black, black, and then I cannot see your face. So that was for me a problem. I could not handle that. So that tension for me was enough that I got in problems at school. That they put me by the principal, and then I didn't have to go to the. For me, it was a win, but the others thought it's a punishment that he may not go. But for me, it was something positive, and that started a week before. So as I knew that it was coming, they told us a week before. Then the tension went up, and that was with everything. And that was also as something happens that I don't agree with, then like now the protest on TV that I don't agree with. In the past, I would be all night, be awake, thinking about it constantly. Now it's not that it's completely gone, but I can handle it. I can say, now I must put it away. I couldn't do that first.
Yeah.
And that was also the thing after 4 months. It's just like exactly 4 months after I started, it's like if there was a switch that turned around. It was all calm. I could concentrate way better. It was.
Well, it just goes to show you, because we all know this because we've been doing carnivore for a while, but when we look at the brain energy and we look at the mechanism and we look at how it works, we're all convinced, well, we're not convinced, but everybody else is convinced that you need to feed the brain sugar. Like you can feed it pretty much whatever you like. But I've listened to an awful lot of Chris Palmer now in the last, I'd say year. And he really focuses on autism. And I know there's so much research out there about how different things are going on in the world at the moment. But when you think about it logically, what you feed the brain is going to impact the rest of your body. Yeah. Pretty simple. So it's like, why, when we look at the basics, your brain is made of fats. Why do we need to feed the brain sugar? You can clearly see what the problem is, because there's a few people around here that are the same. They're autistic, they're bipolar, they're suffering, and you can clearly see what the problem was. That something as small as what you mentioned, Emil, about the Santa Claus, it could be something watching on TV that's going to trigger that emotion, that's going to set you off. But that's anger, isn't it? It's like that anger, it's frustration.
I was the main reason I was always by the principal that I beat somebody up.
Yeah.
Always fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can resonate with that, because, sorry for interrupting you. Because when I used to play rugby, I used to be, before we stepped on the pitch, we were hooked up on caffeine. We had a lot of sugar in our system. We were ready for war. Like, seriously. Like, I could get bitten. I could get kicked, I could get headbutted, and I would have never felt the pain. Never felt it.
It's focused on that.
It was so dangerous.
No
unbelievable.
Fear, nothing. It's just I want to beat him up. It was that extreme that my teachers noticed that when I was beating somebody up and they pulled me away straight away, that was wrong, because I had just punched 1 or 2 times. They pulled me away. Yeah. An hour later, when I saw him, I would run at him and I would attack him.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it starts all over.
Because we see this with parents, with their kids. The kids are actually attacking the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're attacking the parents. They're smashing the TVs, because you can see there's something triggering that aggression. So.
I saw a video from children. They were nice playing. Can you do that? Yeah, I can do that. And then they gave them sugar.
Yeah.
And then you see, no, I don't, and they got, and I was like, that's me. That's how I reacted.
Yeah.
I was constantly on sugar from the morning till the evening, because in the morning you get bread with chocolate on it and that kind of stuff. Yeah, we had to put 1 or 2 pieces of bread with cheese or meat on it, but the rest was all chocolate. In the afternoon, bread. And for me, bread is already the problem. As I eat pizza 1 or 2 times in a month, I already noticed that it goes not as extreme as it was, but I noticed already that it goes back.
Yeah.
And then it's for 1 or 2 days. So I must be strict after that I don't eat more, because then it will be hard. But I notice it.
I was thinking that besides the fact that your brain probably cannot handle too much sugar or cannot properly handle glucose in general, maybe, probably this is an issue also related just to hypo and hyperglycemia and your glucose management in the rest of your body, because also with normal people you see it. Non-autistic children, they also get very hyperactive. I was at the fundraising day for school when there was a lottery, a bingo, and all the children, they were urged to be quiet during the lottery, and it was impossible for the teacher during a fun event to keep them quiet. And in my opinion, that's all the sugar, because during those fundraising days, they get all these candies on all these stands and all these sugary things.
Yeah, it's
first. You go, Mark.
No, you go ahead, man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
go
but
ahead.
that is when I compare it with when in the 80s and 90s, when I went to school, when I was younger. When you were in the class, you had to sit and you had to be quiet. You were quiet. But as you now see how the kids from my age then react now.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, that's the teacher. But that's not the teacher.
No.
I don't say that the teachers are better than that, because they aren't. I find them worse, but that's another thing. But they eat from the morning till the evening way more sugar than I got.
Yeah. But when you look at what's going on in the world at the moment with social media, it's very, very easy to get triggered.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you look at a video, or you look at like kids can watch anything these days. There's violence going on in the world. There's fighting going on in the world. There's everything going on in the world. It's very, very easy to fall into that trap. And when you look at what's going on in the world at the moment, there's so much hate, and it's coming from young kids. Young kids don't know how to speak to each other anymore. It's all aggression. It's all like screaming at each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no conversation. Because I remember when I was younger, you wouldn't have seen me. I wouldn't have been anywhere like this. Nowhere near it. I would have been like talking to people. But I see kids nowadays, they're fighting each other for no particular reason. They're screaming at each other for no particular. And when you look at couples as well, this is the reason why we see so many couples break up, I believe, because they're feeding themselves so much crap. So you can see that everything goes really, really well after maybe 2 or 3 years. But then after 2 or 3 years, I'd love to see the percentages. Most couples end up breaking up because. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but you see it. You see it very clear in. You can put people in groups just by diet. You can see what kind of person somebody is. As you see somebody, the extremists that they protest a lot, that are mostly not always vegans, but have a high plant-based diet.
High carb,
yeah.
High carb diet.
Yeah.
So you see how they react. It's very fast, very aggressive. Well, there's another group that is very less aggressive, and they have lower carb. You see the difference.
But can I just add one other point as well? Because I know a lady that lives in my area, and she sells CBD oil in this country. Now, I have no problem with the CBD oil because it does help you relax. But what I'm saying is this: you shouldn't be relying on it. There should be a way to help you relax another way. You know what I mean? And this is where, as I said, I'm not an expert in this field. I'm just saying that what you feed the brain is obviously going to have an impact on how you feel on a daily basis. So if you're giving the child CBD oil, but you're still giving them then carbohydrates and sugars, are you really looking after the problem, or are you making the problem worse? Because at the end of the day, CBD oil in this country is not cheap. You're looking at probably around €400, probably a little bit more for a month's supply. So you're looking at it's a lot of money. Whereas it just doesn't make sense to me that you're looking after a symptom, but when the root cause of the problem is down to what you're putting into your system, that could be actually, that's what we should be looking at. You know what I mean?
That's what the medication had to do with me. When I was young, I had to keep me calm.
Yeah.
And it only locked me up in my head. It made me more aggressive. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
So when it was time to swallow and I didn't take my medication, it was too late. It came all out and then I threw it out.
Were you non-verbal?
No.
Okay.
I always no. My autism is many people don't know it, so I tell them, "Oh, I never knew it." That kind of stuff, because there's so many different autism. You have the traditional autism. That's what you normally see on TV because that's interesting. That's what they can show, and all those people, that kind of stuff. And then what I have is most people have that. So they can function normally. Only I have it a little bit more extreme, so I'm a bit in the middle.
Okay.
So I can when I can turn all the way to the other side.
And you feel like 2 years into carnivore, you have it fully under control, or do you still have those moments?
I have it better under control. I know it will never go away.
Yeah.
With me because I'm already an adult. So I think when I started carnivore when I was a child, it would be way better.
Yeah.
But I noticed that I sleep way better. I didn't sleep. As I slept 1-2 hours, it was a lot. As I went to bed, then I was laying there, and then 12 in night to bed, and then 4 or 5 in the morning, I was still awake. I could not sleep, just thinking about things. And now when I decide to go to bed, I put down, and 10 minutes later, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
But how do you say this to a parent that has an autistic child that just won't eat anything else apart from sugar? How do you actually help that child transition from a sugar diet to but do they? Because like I've heard from parents that my child won't eat anything else apart from sugar.
My diet was like I liked a certain food at a certain moment, and then I only ate that. So that was the problem. It's bread with the sausage inside, and that I ate a lot. So my mother bought a box, put that, and I took that with to my work and that kind of stuff. I only ate in the afternoon, and in the morning I ate that, and in the evening I did normal dinner, but then also that. That's for a certain period. And another period I eat only McDonald's.
Right.
And then that's periods. And that's what I see by a lot of children also. They start with autistic, they start with that, and then they take that. But what I noticed with all children, when you give them meat, and it doesn't matter what kind of meat, they all like it. It's I didn't like beef, but I never got beef. So I like pork. Now I don't like pork that much anymore, but everybody that had pork likes pork.
Yeah. And no, it makes perfect sense because I'm going through this now with my daughter at the moment. Her diet is absolutely horrendous, but I can see the difference in her attitude. Her attitude stinks. Like she gets aggressive over silly things. She lets things get to her, and I can clearly see what the problem is. I know exactly what the problem is.
It's sugar.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it is 0 or not. 0 did exactly the same thing with me. It doesn't matter. When I drank that Sprite, my headache came back, and I started like, it's back what I was.
But then I'm curious a bit. You talk about that autistic people in the end like meat, but I'm a bit surprised. I always thought that autistic people. I mean, I imagined that they also crave a lot sugars. Is that true, or is it also? Did you crave it?
Yeah. But that's when you get it.
Yeah.
So you see, I know somebody that has a son, and his son is big, and he has constantly hungry, autistic, and constantly hungry. But he eats French fries, all that kind of stuff, everything, and just in big sizes it goes in, and it's everything is sugar. So your potato is sugar, your rice is sugar. In the meat they put sugar. They put everything is sugar.
But I think what you like what you said, Emil. It's about like starting them. Like if you get them into McDonald's and just getting them eating burgers and just remove the buns, you know, I mean, you're still giving them like say fast food or junk food. You know, I mean, at least you're starting from somewhere. Because I've noticed with parents that this is a big issue with parents. They just can't get them off the sugar.
No,
but
it's,
you know what I mean?
addiction. It's just addiction.
Yeah.
They got it as a child, and I noticed it. I was always very skinny and small, the smallest of the class. But my brother was a lot bigger, but he drank a lot of milk. I didn't. And I put a lot of sugar. We had to drink tea, so I put a lot of sugar in it. So that's how I got my sugar in.
Yeah, and I think it's important that if you're a parent of an autistic child, and the child is out of control, I think it's your responsibility to do whatever it takes to try and help that child. At the end of the day, if you really want to help that child, stop feeding them sugar, stop buying them sugar, stop bringing them out for fast food and junk food. If you really want to help their symptom and get them better, then you need to be a responsible parent. If you don't want them to break things in the home, like the TV, or to have arguments with you, you need to make that stand. You really do, because I've seen so many like really, really bad incidents with parents and their kids. Like I've seen parents with black eyes, like they're getting bullied by their own child. Imagine that, you're getting bullied by your own child.
It's
incredible.
But I did also some things, but not as extreme as I see now. Some people do.
But when you look in,
it's lower than what it's now. When I see they get those rings with them.
Yeah.
And then you look at it, there's more sugar in it than in a glass of Coke. And then you say, yeah, but it's fruit sugar. That's good. No, that's the same crap that is in Coca-Cola. Exactly the same. It's nothing different.
But that's what I was going to say. When you look in the last 50 years, I only did a video about this a few weeks ago. When you look at the autism rates, I think autism was diagnosed in the this is what I was told. It was diagnosed in the 1940s. Now, I would love to see the rates from the 1940s to the 1970s. I guarantee it wasn't anywhere near as big now. In the last 50 years, when you look at our current food system, our food system has changed in the last 50 years. So I would love to see those rates from 1970 to right now. Now, I would also like to see, when we look at the genetic part, and what Chris Palmer talks about, is when we look at the parents, what were they eating before they actually had the child? What was the diet like?
Yeah.
And was it in the last 50 years? Because this is what he talks an awful lot about, and he actually makes a lot of sense. When he looks at the genetic part of it, it depends if it's been in the last 50 years. If it's been in the last, say, 80 or 90 years, then that could be completely different, because the autism, the type of food that we ate back in the 1950s, 1960s, wasn't anywhere near as poisonous as what it is right now.
No. It's completely different now. It's way more. When I look at the children now, they all have a problem, every child has, oh, but he cannot read that fast. He cannot. They put them all in boxes.
Mm.
Well, that was like when I was young. That was, yeah, I had autism, but so I went to a special school so they could handle me in smaller classrooms. But not all kids in my class had autism.
Mm.
Just 2 or 3. The rest were not autism. But when you now go to that school, they almost have all autism.
Mm.
And not only at that school, also in other schools.
Mm.
And when I was young, I thought because my mother has autism, so that's why I have it, and it's from my mother's side in the family does autism, so it's. But that's not true.
Mm.
Then my brother
Well,
would
yeah.
also have it. And,
Indirectly, maybe, right? So the epigenetic part, that the diet and the traditions in your family,
yeah,
they will trigger certain genes.
and that's what I started to think from. Why do other groups don't have it? And then I started looking what you said, diet,
Hmm.
and then you see what people eat, and yeah, but I eat that and that, and no, I eat a lot of meat. But what's a lot of meat? They say, oh, but that woman is obese and she eats a lot, and that's a lot of fats and that kind of stuff. And then they put it in a big jar. They put all what she ate on a day.
Mm.
And I was looking, and it's mainly bread.
Yeah.
And then there's a hamburger, 2 hamburgers. That a little bit of meat. It's almost zero meat. It's more a plant-based diet than meat diet. And the egg what they eat is egg in something, or the milk is in something. So there is a lot of added sugars in.
I was wondering, we talked about the glucose aspect, and now you mention adding meat or not adding meat to your diet. Do you have an idea? Because you followed probably only carnivore, right? You went straight away into carnivore.
Yeah. I tried. I was trying to switch to vegan, but the more plant-based I ate, then I got stomach problems.
Mm.
And all the time and I wasn't vegan, so I was still eating meat, but I added less meat in it, so each time less, and then I went those salad boxes and that kind of stuff I started to eat. And
yeah, so is from this carnivore diet, what do you think helped most? Is it the fact that your glucose that you went low carb, or is it also the adding in the meat?
I think for me, when I felt the switch for me in my head, it was the low carb. But when I look at my other health problems, so my stomach problems and how I feel with my energy now, I never used. Yeah, I tried one time electrolytes, but I didn't like it, and my energy is now up. So in the beginning it was low, but other people used electrolytes, so I tried it, but I didn't like it. So, and that's now up. So now I noticed that I have way more energy. Physically also, I became stronger. So the meat made me also stronger. I couldn't do any push-ups, not one. I went down and then I was down. I couldn't go up. So I could do in half.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I was very little, when I was a year of 5, 6, I could do 2 or 3, But after that, the older I got, I couldn't do it. And last year I was like, okay, I'm now exactly a year carnivore. I must do some workout. Maybe I can do some push-ups. I start doing, and I did 5. I couldn't do that a year before. And I know I was then 32 kilos heavier.
Yeah.
Also, when I was 35 or 24, when I was 24, I was 62 kilos. 62 kilos. I couldn't do it. I was lighter than I'm now, and I couldn't do it. And now I'm older. You should be weaker, and I can do it. And now I can do 30, and I don't train for it.
Yeah, because
So-
you're giving your body what it needs. You're not gonna build muscle without protein. It's as simple as that.
And just I go almost every night. I go out for a walk, and I have a certain route, and I do that for years. My family is a walking family, so we went a lot of walking. When I was little, me and my brother went walking with my father 4 days at night. Every year that comes back. So then my father told us, wait here outside. I go ride us in, and then he comes back because he had to be a certain age to walk the 5 kilometers. But we were too young. So then he came back with the papers. Then we had to walk 5 kilometers. We came back. He went in, and that 4 days after each, and then you got a medal. From the moment that we had allowed to walk the 5 kilometers, we went with the school. So the school said we go walk the 5 kilometers. And my father was on the finish line waiting at us, and he had already the tickets for the 10 kilometers. So we did walk the 5 kilometers, that was allowed for us. And then we walked the 10 kilometers straight away. So we came there and we started walking the 10 without a break. So we walked 15 kilometers. And we did that for years. And then later I did longer tracks, and it was my hobby. I liked it. And now I do almost every evening. I go out at night when it's dark, then not so much traffic, so I can walk better around. It's about 5 kilometers, and I can do it in 38 minutes. So I walk 7.6 kilometers an hour.
Oh, that's
when
fast.
when I walk a little speed. But as in England, there is the 100 mile. You have 35 hours to finish, and you have certain points you must rest an hour. You may not walk. You must stay there for an hour. But your minimum speed average speed must be 6 kilometers an hour.
Okay.
And I walked many long distance routes, and then a friend of mine told me, your base speed must be 6 kilometers. My base speed now is 6.8. So I walk the 40 or 50 kilometers is 6.8 kilometers average, and I can still accelerate. I'm not the fastest, because there are that walk 8-9 kilometers an hour, or even the fast ones 11 kilometers an hour. I cannot keep up
That's
with
running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can reach the 9 kilometers for a short time. But I'm not that fast with my legs. But I can keep it up for a short time without any problems. Then I fall back, and then I can do that. But
this you did for years already, right? So what did the carnivore diet change here?
Well, before I did my round was a bit shorter, and that I walked 43 minutes. That was my fastest time, and that was even before I was 102 kilos. It was never be faster than that. That was my normal walking speed. And then I went carnivore, and even in the first months, I noticed that my times went down and my speed went up without any training to go faster. And this year it went up, and it's still going up. And I don't train for it. I didn't change anything. I still do. Yeah, my round is now a little bit longer, but I don't train more but my speed is going up.
It just proves the point about performance, because I'm talking to this with people all the time. Peter will know better than this, because he's a cyclist, but I'm not a cyclist, or I'm not an athlete by any stretch. I've been into like weightlifting for a long time, but I've noticed my performance just getting better and better and better on a year-to-year basis. And I'm not just training in the gym. I'm talking about cardiovascular work as well. I only had this with I was on a Stairmaster. This boxer challenged me to a Stairmaster challenge. I think it was around 8 weeks ago or something like that. Now this guy was younger than me. He was around 20 years younger than me, and he was an amateur boxer. His fitness levels were unbelievable. Anyway, we went in. We were on level. He said, "Okay, put it on level 8. We're going to go for 60 minutes. I'm not even joking with you. I was on level 8 for like 10 minutes and I was like, this is too easy for me. Too easy. I had to increase it. I was looking over at him on level 8. This guy was actually sweating. He was breathing heavy. I was like, oh my God, this guy is actually meant to be fitter than me. I actually increased the level to 14 before I actually broke a sweat. Now, all the way through the session, I never had one sup of water. Not one sup of water, not once. I was able to control my breathing very, very easily. I wasn't breathing heavy. My heart rate was, I think my heart rate, I should have tested my heartbeat when I got up to that high level, when I was on level 14. I'm pretty sure my heart rate was just going the way it should be. It wasn't going like this, like bang, 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 like really, really hard. I'm pretty sure it was going over 100, but I was in full control of that. Now, I was able to maintain that for 1 hour very, very easily at level 14, and I literally hardly broke a sweat. This guy collapsed. He came off the machine after half an hour.
I noticed
After a half an hour.
I noticed the same. As I came back, normally I was tired. I have not the walking. I have my condition. I can say I can beat my 18-year-old self. Running, not
easily.
Running, I don't run, but I can now. I must train again for some running. I need to do something, but I could run quite good. I was not the fastest, but I could run. Now, not because I don't run anymore. But I now, when I do now a little bit, all the supermarkets, I need to go some to be faster. I can run that part.
Yes. Yeah.
Before I started the carnivore, after 3-4 meters, I was like,
yeah.
And now I think I don't train, and I can all the way, and I still have energy.
And you know what's even better as well? The recovery. You recover so much quicker. Like unbelievable. Like I don't have DOMS anymore. I don't have fatigue anymore. I could train every day if I wanted to. Like I trained really, really intense today. I done a leg session today. Now, if you had spoke to me like 6 or 7 years ago, I wouldn't be able to train legs again for probably about another week. I could easily go back into the gym tomorrow and do the same leg session, the same one.
I did always the 4 days of Nijmegen, 50 kilometers a day. And I could be in before 12 o'clock. And I was always, then I came in and I was like, I was tired, but I had more energy than the rest. But I was, a lot younger than I am now. But when I compare that with now, I have now, it's what you say, I recover even faster. It's like when I have to walk that 5 kilometer walk and I come in, I can straight away do the same. I can maintain my higher speeds way longer.
And on those days, you are not cheating, I imagine, right? So you are well in ketosis and all those things.
I try different things. So I compared it with different things. So I did it, eat something, started walking. I did eating a time between, then walking, different things to see, but also different foods. So when I eat carbs, they say, yeah, you get energy. My numbers go down. I become slower. And they say, yeah, but with carbs, you get energy. No, my fastest time now is 38 minutes over 5 kilometers. And I always walk the same thing. And I stop my watch as I'm by a traffic light. I must stop and that kind of stuff. So I know the exact times. And then I was like, okay. And then I'm around 71 kilos. Because when I go down, under 70, then I notice that I lose my energy faster. So I think that I'm then not enough. Then to like, but as I'm above 70, 71, that's my best performance. So also with weight. But when I eat carbs, then it's like I start fast, and then they say, yeah, but yeah, for an hour. After 15 minutes, it goes up,
Yeah.
and doesn't matter what I eat. It just goes down, and then it doesn't come back. I need to wait after that time. Then I walk 43 minutes again, and then I'm like, okay, I worked for it, and then 43 minutes, and now as I now walk normal, that I don't do any speed thing, I do 42 minutes.
Well, this is maybe an interesting thing that when you do very long distances, in my experience, if I add in carbs, I definitely shouldn't do that in the beginning. But say that if I do a 6-hour ride or so, and after 4 hours, I'll add in some carbs, like half a banana or so, which is nothing, of course, on the bike.
Yeah, because
then it's sort of fine. But if you already sort of make this switch while you're still in this first hour and you're still using glycogen and then adding carbs,
it doesn't work for me. I also don't feel that good. My muscles don't feel good. It's strange. It's like if there's a break on my legs.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I can do the speed, and then if there is a break, that's holding me back.
Yeah, I just want to go back to what Peter said. It makes actually perfect sense, because if you're primed into a race, let's say you've done it like you've been in it like for 2 or 3 hours. If you add a little bit of carbohydrate in, you're going to burn that off straight away. Like you're straight away. Whereas if you put it in at the very, very beginning, you're going to get the inflammation. You're going to get the tiredness. You're not going to be ready. You're not going to be ready because you're going to be carrying too much water. You haven't done anything, so you're not burning anything off. So it makes sense if you're halfway through the race, then you can actually add in a gel or a bit of energy or whatever. Then you can burn it off like really, really quickly. So it makes perfect sense, Peter.
And there's another aspect is that even on a keto diet, especially in the beginning when you start exercise, your body is more prone to resort to using the glycogen reserves.
Yeah.
So if you then also give it an extra push towards burning carbs and glucose, then the ketosis will be less active.
Well, that's the thing, look, because when you're fat adapted, it's like your energy's never going to run out because you're tapping into your own energy source.
Yeah,
so
that's what I noticed.
I
noticed that very good because I have certain points that I know I must be at that time there, and then normally it was like the draft part was I need to push, and now I can accelerate again.
Yeah.
It's
been proven. It's been proven many times because I've heard many podcasts from people that have done marathons on a fast. They've literally nothing. They had like they had some fat the night before, like some cheese or some fat or whatever, and they'd done a complete fast, and they'd done the marathon no problem. And I've heard people doing consecutive marathons 3 days in a row on a fast. Incredible. Just been on a high fat diet. So that just proves it. There's been many people speaking about this on podcasts. It's incredible. And these are like top athletes. And I'm pretty sure it still goes on in the world today. People are just not saying anything about it.
Yeah, but it's also with food. When I do now a long distance, normally it was like I started in the morning. You need to be at 4 o'clock at the start. You start walking. You got a banana with you. You get some cucumber with you that it took. I didn't eat bread in the morning. I cannot eat in the morning. I couldn't have only when I was very little. But later I stopped with doing that. But then I'm walking. And then when I'm at 20 kilometers and I get something to eat, I can only drink. As I eat something, it comes out.
Yeah.
But now, it doesn't matter. I can eat. It doesn't come out. It stays in.
But Peter, I'd be interested to get your point on this. When you do have, let's say you're halfway through the run, and let's say you have a gel, how long does it last for?
It goes away very, very quick.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing. I mean, it's And then still, actually, also after 4 hours, if I overdo it, so if I continue to eat those bananas, then I'll quickly go. I'll have to eat more and more because somehow it I don't know, it maybe lowers your gluconeogenesis or so, which up to that point was sky high probably, because that's what you do on a keto diet. But yeah, I noticed it immediately, because then this little bit, tiny bit of insulin that is still in my body, which I injected, is suddenly going to burn through all this glucose.
Yeah.
And I cannot lower it anymore because I injected it already, and I have to eat more and more. And another person could stop, but I cannot even stop anymore. Physically, it's I would be on the ground.
And
sorry, I don't understand, because they say you need a certain amount of carbs, and then you can do that for an hour. But I'm 10-20 minutes, it's gone by me.
Exactly, yeah. It's like you have to refill every time. You have to refill.
Yeah, I don't know how they reach. I think then that's what my thought was. Then I see what I do on carbs and do on non-carbs.
Yeah,
but that's what carbs, it's only the first half and then it's gone.
But that's why you see in marathons, like literally every half an hour, there's a station where they have energy drinks or they have gels, because they know that literally a half an hour later, after you've had that gel, if you don't have another energy coming in, you're probably not gonna make the race. You're gonna faint, or you're gonna collapse, or you're not gonna last. So they know exactly what they're doing, because I see this all the time, like the marathon over here, the Dublin Marathon over here. The Dublin Marathon over here is 32 miles. For every mile, or for every 2 miles, they always have a water station or an energy station. It's something between 2 or 3 miles. So you're going to be stopping off probably 8 times during that 32-mile run.
Yeah, even when you talk about water, I mean, you also can go much further, well, without or with less water if you're on a keto diet.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying about when I had the challenge with the other guy a few weeks ago. I never drank water during that session once. Not once. Yeah. I was fine.
What I now do is, in the morning I go to toilet, I drink 1 glass of water.
Yeah.
And then I do I help to fix some bikes and rebuild them and build my own bikes, and so I do that. And then when I come home about between 5 and 6, then I drink my second glass of water.
Yeah.
But when I did that before I was carnivore, I was like feeling dizzy.
Yeah.
So I had also to eat before I go.
Yeah.
If I didn't do that and not drink more in the morning, then I would feel dizzy. I could not do that.
Yeah.
And now it's no problem. And now I can skip all day eating without any problems.
Honestly, that was the biggest factor for me, was when I started carnivore. Like I'd say about a year into it, I was like, I don't need to drink as much water as I used to, because I used to drink around maybe 5 or 6 liters of water a day, and now I'm struggling to get through a liter of water a day, and I'm completely fine. And when I work out, I never bring a bottle of water with me ever.
No, I noticed that also. They say that you need to drink 2 liters of water, but I'm like 2 liters of water. But I always drank 1.5 liter of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And now I have those bottles of 1.5 liter of water, and when I drink that, it's sometimes it's not completely empty.
Yeah.
And the most of it I drink in the evening. Only when it's very hot outside, then I drink more. But it's also, I don't know if you noticed that, but as it is cold, I walk in the evening, but it was 13 degrees. Normally I would put your jacket on.
Yeah.
But now I go out in my shirt. No problem. Not that I have it hot, but I can handle the cold way better, but also the heat.
Yeah.
I always had it cold. Always. It was below 20 degrees. Then I put my heater on and I put an extra thing on. Now not anymore. I can handle it way better. And also in the heat, I can also walk in the sun without any problems. Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
my favorite
Yeah.
thing, but it's over 30 degrees and I still walk.
Yeah, it's amazing. When I went on this cycling trip, all the other cyclists, they start about putting a sun lotion when it's like a half cloudy day of 18 degrees Celsius. And I didn't use it at all.
No.
No, I stopped using it. I stopped using it 2 years ago because I heard also, oh, that's bad for you. So I stopped with that. I think, okay, with carnivore, you don't burn that fast. I was the first year a little bit burnt, but not much. Normally it would be all red. It was, no, after a day it was gone. I could touch, no problems. I only wear a cap. Last year I had not sunglasses. This year not anymore. And also don't miss them.
Yeah.
It
So,
first was a problem.
Are there other ways that you changed your diet and lifestyle? Because now you have more energy and attention that you can spend on it, I imagine. But it's,
I have more free time.
yeah.
Yeah. It's very simple. In the morning I drink my water. As I'm at home, then I eat in the afternoon also a little bit. Sometimes some soup with 4 eggs in it and a little bit of meat, or hamburgers with some eggs on it, and sometimes a little bit of cheese. And then in the evening, my main meat. And before I go to bed, something like those just chicken wings, the short things. As a
that's
snack.
interesting.
Or eggs. That's what I eat. It's cooking is also.
So simple.
First, it took me a half an hour to an hour for cooking, and I hate cooking because you need to cook your right, and you must watch it because as I'm on my computer, I don't hear it. Then I forgot it, so I need to cook new rice, and now it is like I put my pan on the fire. I put some butter in. My meat goes on.
Yeah.
It's not even for a minute. I turn it around.
And it's done.
Also, then I put my fire out. I put on the plate. I put the butter over it.
Oh, you don't even need to do that. Ask Marco. Just eat it right away from the pan.
Just eat it out of the pan. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, but the pan doesn't fit that good on my couch. I sit on my, and then I watch TV and I eat my meat and I only put some salt on it.
Yeah. No, it's honestly, it's so easy. It's like, it's cost effective. It's just, it's incredible. It really is.
That is why I was afraid in the beginning, oh, it will be very expensive. It will be very expensive. But I buy now for about, it depends on what I buy. I can buy for under 200 euros meat for a month.
Yeah.
But I can also go to 300-400 euros. But when I compare it with, first I was ordering food and I had to buy for 300 euros food. And then I bought in the supermarket extra food. So I was 400, 500 euros for food a month.
Honestly, it's I'm working with a few people at the moment and they're struggling financially, like really, really struggling financially. And all I have them on pretty much is ground beef and chicken thighs. That's it. They're the cheapest meats in this country.
Yeah, chicken is expensive here.
Now, chicken thighs over in my country, you can get about 12 chicken thighs in a packet for like €5. It's for nothing.
Need to move, Peter. That's cheap.
Nothing. Yeah. And then 20% ground beef in this country, because nobody buys the high percentage of fats. You can get it for about like €2.50, €3.
I have the ground meat with 30% extra fat.
Wow.
They make it.
Oh yeah.
The farmer where I get my meat, he has several butchers that butcher his meat, and he and his brother are running it. His brother is the farmer, and he is doing the meat, mostly for restaurants and that kind of stuff. And he told me he has several carnivores. So, and somebody asked for extra fat, and now he has it on his thing that with extra fat.
Yeah.
I said, I want that.
100%. Yeah, I'm the same, because like I have to I would rather go to my butcher's because I know what quality I'm getting. Now the price is nearly double. I can go into my local shop and get the ground beef and get ribeyes, and it will be a fraction of the price what I'm paying for.
Yeah,
the
but as I
quality-
go to
the
the
qual-
supermarket and I
the
buy
quality's
a
the
thing,
quality's
then I
is-
get this.
yeah, the quality's not good.
Hmm.
Not good at all. Whereas when you go into a butcher, well, when I go into my butcher's, you can clearly see the difference in the meats. You can
I
the
taste
taste
it.
is better. Oh, it's much better. Like you wouldn't get it when you mentioned 30%. I was like, okay, you wouldn't get that in a supermarket. You
No.
wouldn't get ground beef at 30%.
They
No chance.
the supermarkets start now to do protein, plant-based protein in it.
Yeah,
Or from the blood, they take the protein out of the blood,
yeah,
and then they say, "Oh, extra protein." No, they just make it cheaper.
yeah, yeah.
And
And it's
I-
terrible. It's
I didn't-
terrible, isn't it?
I tried in the beginning ground beef from the supermarket, and I was like, I was eating it, and I was like, I don't like it. I don't
Yeah.
like. And I was thinking, it's the beef. I don't like beef. But then I got it from the farmer, and I said, I must watch my money. So I did some ground beef, and I don't take a lot of ground beef, just a little bit, and the rest is egg. But I eat that three times a day.
Yeah,
So then I do it over more times, or I
Yeah.
do it as something extra because ground beef is still not my favorite stuff.
Mm.
But do it as in the afternoon or later in the evening. And then from that pack I can eat 3 or 4 days,
yeah,
and then
Yeah.
I put 3 eggs with it, 3 or 4 eggs. So I have
Well,
about-
and with the supermarket meat, I always needed the eggs to make them palatable because, yeah, I
you
mean,
cannot get it away.
later on you realize that the supermarket meat is old. It contains sugar sometimes, but above all, it contains this citric acid
Yeah.
or ascorbic acid, and nowadays I
Taste
taste it. You notice it immediately.
When
You
you,
know
put
what
it in some other food, you don't notice it.
yeah.
Mm.
Do you know what I?
Because,
Do you know?
yeah.
Do you know what I noticed on the package? And it's in everything. Natural flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed it on meats. Like
And
every time I
it's-
look at
and
the
it-
ingredients.
As it needs extra flavors, then it's trash.
Yeah, that's
But
when you
it's
know.
good. Why do you need to flavor it?
Mhm.
Why do you need to add flavors to food?
And when you look at a natural flavor, just because it says natural flavor, that could be a list of chemicals that you've never even heard of.
yeah, it's crazy. It's so many things. It's what I started reading what's on the back, on the package,
Mm.
and then the kids that work at the supermarket started looking at me, and I was like, my eyes are not bad, but I could not
Mm.
read it. So small.
Mm. Mm.
So then I asked those kids, can you read it? And they were like,
Mm.
also, then I took my hand in my mobile phone and make a photo, and then you can zoom in. It's what's
Mm.
in it, and they must put it in those small letters because it's such a list.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and they don't
Oh,
want you
mad.
to read it.
It's mental. It's mental. Well, Emil, but we have to respect your time. But before we let you go, where can people go to find you?
I have Instagram, but I don't use it for my carnivore thing. And I make a new one. I had a account when I started the carnivore diet. I made a Instagram account, and I had that, and then I got so many. And I didn't talk about what's healthy or that kind of stuff. Just only about what I eat and how I felt. And I stopped doing that because I got so much hate on it.
I know,
It's
yeah.
just crazy. It's
Mhm.
vegans. One
Yeah.
vegan
Yeah.
found me, and from that moment, I had every day 3 or 4 vegans. But not only vegans, also the fitness gurus.
Mm.
Yeah. This is Instagram you're talking about, right?
Instagram, yeah.
Because
the fitness gurus.
on
Yeah.
TikTok it doesn't happen almost never, and YouTube maybe sometimes, but Instagram is really horrible on that point.
Instagram is fitness gurus and vegans. It's sick.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, and even mainstream people that just believe the general nutrition advice, they are sometimes so aggressive.
Oh, it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
absolutely
but
crazy.
that's how I got to my research through Instagram. I worked with the research for obesitas. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's I went there, and they measured me. So I had to go in a machine in a pot. They checked with air pressure what my fat percentage was. 20.4.
Wow.
So that's good.
Mm,
I think that's good because they said it's low. It's good.
mm,
So then they my weight, my measurements, my middle, my hips, it's everything was good. My energy, I had to do 6 minutes on a step and then back off for 6 minutes, and I was like, oh, that will be heavy because I never do that.
mm.
But after I was going, and I never slowed down. I had the same all day, and I told them I was carnivore, and I had to eat sugar and eat 2 bread, and then I could choose out peanut butter, cheese, or something spreadable cheese. So I chose cheese because I know what cheese is, and the rest I don't want. And I had to drink a sugar solution. And they started first to take blood from me. Then I had to drink and eat, drink that sugar thing. And then after an hour, they came back. And then every half an hour, they took blood to measure I said it will be completely different. I still don't know the results because they have a long list.
This is
That's
part
why
of a research project, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're being way too kind, sacrificing your body for this.
Well, as I had to take medication, then I wouldn't do it. But I wanted to know how my body reacts on the sugar. And the results are not still coming, so I'm waiting for that.
Oh, that would be interesting if once you have them to talk about it another time.
And then I had to fill in. I got the results from me for 3 weeks long. Every day, what I ate. Well, what I ate, it was evening
Meat.
meal, and that evening meal is just that you can choose out vegetables, potatoes, fish, meat, or meat replacements. That was one thing you can check. You can check from then milk products, milk, normal milk, or the cheat oil press, or eggs. And it was all listed very strange, and I was like, so I mailed them. I said, you do a research for obesitas. But what I fill in, you know that I eat meat, so only meat. But if somebody fills in milk and he drinks seed oils, that is not milk. That gives a complete different result than somebody that drinks milk.
Exactly.
And meat replacements are not meat. And then how many meat does somebody eat? So somebody can eat in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, and still be obese because he eats trash.
Exactly.
So you do that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And now I wait for the results for the blood sugar.
Well, we'll definitely have to get you back on for that. Definitely.
Yeah, let's do a part 2.
They are still looking for people. They want 600, and they had just over 500 when I went. So till December but you need a BMI of 25 to 30 to join now. And I had the person, but then they said you get a lifestyle coach. But that person I know, I help him now almost 4 months now.
What 25? I also am above 25 now, so that's
you
no
can
problem.
Join. That person can also join. He has now a BMI of 28 or 29. He came to me when he saw that I lost weight. I see him in the supermarket. That's how I learned to know him. And he said, how did you do that? I said, I only eat meat. And he looked at me. Only meat. Yeah, but from fat you become fat. I said, no, from fat you lose fat. It's that simple. Everything that's not fat, you get fat. And then 3 months later, he saw me again. He said, can I have your contact? So I gave him my phone number. and we start talking and talking. And now 4 months ago, he said, I want to do the same as what you do. He went to the hospital. He has 2 stomach reduction surgery. He cannot do a third one. It's not allowed anymore. He had a lifestyle coach. He has in the hospital, he had a diet specialist that doesn't know anything, but it's a specialist. The doctor, he had to write down what he ate and all that kind of stuff. And only got sick and didn't lose anything. And then they said, yeah, but you eat more than what you write down. Then he got a lifestyle coach that looked with him, and he didn't eat more than what they said, but he ate trash.
Yeah.
And I told him, I can lose it. So I looked at, he invited me. So I went to his house. I looked in his house and I said, what's your food? And he opened the thing and I said, there's no food in it. And he was like, yeah, this is my food. Everything was in packages. Nothing fresh, nothing, everything was in, yeah, but it's healthy. Macaroni, it's good. And that's good, and that's good. And I said, you want to do carnivore, you need to throw it all out. So then he was thinking, and then a month later, he called me, he said, I want to do it. So I went to him, that was 4 months ago, around 4 months ago. And I helped him. We just put a big bag. I said, you want to give it away? Yeah. So we put it in a bag and we gave it to somebody else. So you can do something with it. Yeah. Oh, nice. Very happy. And we went to the supermarket and the butcher and we started to get meat, only meat. And we started to fill his fridge. And 3 months later, he lost 32 kilos. He lost more than what I did, but he lost 32 kilos.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. And the first weeks, he was still having his lifestyle coach and the hospital looking with him. And I said, you must not tell what you do. I said, do you take medication? He had no medication, so that was also no problem. Don't tell what you do. And he told them, after a month, he told them, I quit with you. And then the lifestyle coach said, yeah, but we see results. We do it good. No, you didn't do anything. And he started shouting at him. He sent him away. You only gave me trash. And also at the hospital, he did the same. It's like, he said, I don't want to see you ever again. I have now somebody that helps me and knows what he's talking about.
Well, that's very nice to hear that you. It sounds like you influenced a direct. I don't know, was it a friend or a colleague, but they are.
No, just somebody that I know from the street. Because in May, last year in May, I went to the meeting in Germany, and then I lost my 32 kilos. I came there, and there came a man walking to me, and he wanted to say hi. And then he heard my voice. And he said, Emil? I said, yes. Wow, you look healthy. That was the first response. You look healthy. I was like that. I could not sit here. I had to have a bigger chair. He was surprised to see me. He said, I didn't recognize you.
That's maybe interesting. So, I mean, that would be great, right? If people see your story now online and that they'll get inspired to do the same or something similar. But do you have pictures also from how your body changed?
I have them not now, but I have
them.
No,
sure. But
online, I have them. Yeah, I take them from YouTube. I never take pictures of myself, but from some YouTube videos from others. I showed them to some people, and they were like, "You don't recognize him."
Yeah, well, if that's all right with you, I think we should add them in the thumbnail or in the video somewhere. It's
yeah, I can look them up.
Yeah, but it was nice talking with you, Emil. I think Mark, we can see if he returns, but I think he has to eat. But so you talked. Is there a way that people can reach you, or should they just visit your Instagram account?
Yeah, you can add my Instagram account, but I try not to use my Instagram account for that. I react on your things,
Yeah, yeah,
But I post only in the normal things, not on the thing itself, but on that only stayed up for 24 hours. I just resend them, but
Hmm.
maybe I make a new Instagram account for that, and then block all the vegans.
yeah. Yeah,
Or
well,
go
it'd
to
be nice,
TikTok
but
for that, because it's crazy. Other people told me also that TikTok is better.
yeah.
So
That's also my experience, but I like it anyway. How you are always there in the comments, and there's always interesting discussion. So
that's the only thing that still triggers me. Some people with
Yeah.
nonsense. I should have been dead already. It's people told me, oh, you cannot do that for a year, then you're dead. I
yeah,
said, I do it now 1.5 years and I'm still alive.
yeah. No, it's very true. I mean, it would actually be the opposite if I wouldn't do this. I would not be literally dead probably, but I would be feeling miserable anyway.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that we haven't talked about, so maybe let's keep that for another episode. I would really love
Okay.
to hear about all the other things. So you talked me a lot about what happened during your carnivore journey. And,
There's still way more.
yeah, it's very interesting to have heard about all the positive effects it had on the autism, especially. That's a lot of people should hear that.
That has a big effect. It will not cure you on but it helps. It helps a lot.
Well, thank you, and let's stay in touch for the next one.
Okay.